this really cool guy. He was like a successful businessman, and he called me up and he said, hey, I'd like to do a life insurance policy with you. I went out to his office and I said, do you currently have life insurance? And he said, yeah, I have like a 20-year term that is expiring just in a few weeks. And I said, okay, let's do a permanent policy on you. And I wrote a permanent policy. He did the medical on it and he was declined. He had a medical decline. And I came back out to his office and I said, you got a medical decline. We can't do insurance. And he said, man, I have a huge company. I have a business partner. I need to have life insurance to cover the liability in the event that something happens to me. What do I do? And I said, I don't know. And I walked out. He seemed so wise to me when he came in because he was probably about 50 or so and I was in my 20s. And I thought, this guy seemed so wise. And when I walked out, I went, and he got tricked. And the way he got tricked is somebody told him 20 years ago to buy a 20-year term policy, and he believed him. So here's the problem with term. When you buy a term policy, let's say you're healthy enough to qualify for it. What happens in 10 years or what happens in 20 years when you aren't healthy? You're going to lose your coverage. To me, it makes a lot more sense to, if you're going to buy term, maybe don't buy all term, maybe 100,000 permanent and buy the rest of it term. You could probably do that for the same premium.